Okay, this is actually take number 3, take trace. The first time the heater clicked on and the air cleaner was on, and the second time I didn't have my Invisalign in my mouth and I was slurring all my words, so hopefully I got it this time. As you can see real quick, we now have a Twitter, @VintageGamerInc. I just dropped what I was going to show you guys. All right. Anyway, we now have a Twitter. It's a very cool Pole Position 2 marquee, and there's Raquel playing her PS3. Anyway, we're here to talk about this, as I'm sure you surmised from the title of the video. There's conflicting information out there online. Some sources say that this was only mailed to Nintendo Power subscribers. I know for a fact that's not quite true. I didn't subscribe to Nintendo Power at that time. I did later on in more of the GameCube era, but 1994 I was not subscribed to Nintendo Power. And how I think Nintendo got my name to mail me this was I got my Nintendo in December, excuse me, December of 1993. Christmas of 93 is when I got my Nintendo. My Super Nintendo, excuse me. And that was a cool year to get a Super Nintendo because not only did you get Super Mario World, you also got a little card to mail in. It took like 6 or 8 weeks or something. It seemed like forever, but they sent you Super Mario All-Stars for free. And you had Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3 and the Lost Levels. I think I did a review of the 16-bit Super Mario Brothers about a year ago. But that was pretty cool. That you basically got 5 games as a pack-in, and they were all Mario games, which was very sweet. So I'm pretty sure that's how Nintendo got my name to mail me this. So there is some erroneous information that it was only Nintendo Power subscribers. I am living proof that is not necessarily the case. Anyway, so for you youngins, there is an element of sarcasm here, but you youngins, I am sometimes astonished at what you guys don't know. There's all those kids react to the NES video and stuff like that. So I will, with a hint of sarcasm and jestfulness, I will explain all this to you guys. For you youngins, this is called a VHS tape. This is a cassette tape. We used to go to the video store back in the day, usually on the weekends, whatever, and they would rent us movies on discs just like this. Most video stores, you could also rent video games. So that was pretty cool, and that's prior to Netflix and iTunes and GameFly. That is what we had to do. So anyway, Nintendo sent these out, which could not have been cheap. These aren't like really expensive, but by the time you pay for postage on this, and I've lost mine, but it came in a cool green sleeve that looked like the leaves from the trees in the game. But by the time they paid for postage, and production's a little bit more than a CD, just given the nature of the media, Nintendo spent a few bucks really promoting the hell out of Donkey Kong. Now, I got the tape in the mail probably early October '93. The game came out November 21st, 1990. Excuse me, I lied to you. I misspoke. I got mine in my promotional tape in the mail in October '94. The game came out November 21st, 1994, and for whatever reason, this thing sat in our pile of mail at my house growing up. It just sat in our pile. I knew I'd gotten a VHS tape from Nintendo. I didn't know what it was. I didn't really care, which is a little weird because I was super into Nintendo at the time, but I just let it sit there for well over a month. And I remember the exact day I watched this video. I watched this on the morning of November 18th, 1994. And I remember that because just prior to, I'd gotten the day off school. My parents were cool like that. And I went with a lady friend. I was 14 at the time, and I went with a lady friend to see Star Trek Generations in the theater. And later that day, we also saw Pulp Fiction, and that was cool. Then, so anyway, that was a good day. It's like my first date, so that's why the date is so ingrained in my head. But I watched it that morning. I was waiting for my ride, and that's like all I could talk about on the way to the movie theater, which was cool. She was in the games too, but yeah, I mean this just blew us away at the time. So anyway, I will watch this along with you guys. I will also post and give you my thoughts, what I remember, and then I will also post a second video that just has the tape. Now I apologize in advance this has been sitting outside of its sleeve, stored horizontally, not vertically, in my house for I guess it's been 22 and a half years. The quality is not the best. Honest to God, VHS tapes weren't that horrible back in the day. But, yeah, so, and the remote for my, I found a VCR. The remote for my VCR is long since gone. So if the tracking is a little bit off, or if the quality is just leaves a little bit to be desired, I apologize in advance, but it's been sitting around here for almost a quarter of a century, which makes me feel very, very old. All right, so very quickly, I will give you some brief vintage gamer behind the scenes. Again, for you youngins, this is called a VCR. That stands for Video Cassette Recorder. And this is a 4-head hi-fi stereo VCR, which was good shit back in the day. I bought this one. I haven't had it that long. I think I got this in like 98 or 99 after whatever VCR I was using died. Doesn't have very many hours on it. Hasn't been fired up in years, but it still works. Go Panasonic. So, a word on getting this onto the computer. The easy way to do, I think what most people would do, would just be to use the Elgato. I do have the Elgato game capture, as you can see. That way it's no glare. And you can use the RCA cables on the Elgato. However, what I have found with the Elgato, it's awesome for PS4. I use it for PS4 reviews. But I actually prefer this. This is a Canopus analog to digital converter. This 80 VC55, they've been around for like 10 years. They're not very expensive. I don't think you'll have a hard time finding one. And you can do S-Video or you can do RCA. It converts it from analog to digital. And then, again, this is my temporary office if you haven't seen recent videos. So that is the explanation for the mess. I'm sure Setup Wars guys are going nuts. But anyway, so this exports and this goes out in FireWire 800 cord. And then over here I have a, where'd it go? Come on. So there's a FireWire 800 to 400 adapter. And then there's a FireWire 400 to Thunderbolt. And then obviously it goes into the Macintosh. So that's how I'm doing this. And I've just found with the Canopus for the old stuff, probably including VHS, but also for SNES and Genesis and stuff, I like the quality a little bit better than the Elgato. So if you'll excuse the mess, because this is a garage area until the office is done, but I'm very happy I bought a tripod, even though it doesn't fit on this desk in any way, shape, or form. But I'm very happy I bought a tripod because I am going to watch along with you. So let's hit play. I ran it through once to make sure the tape would work, but I haven't actually seen this thing in like I don't know, 15 years or something like that. I had the volume off, so I haven't actually watched the whole video. Little different than the FBI warning we were also used to in the 80s and 90s. But,
whoa, and it blows your mind. It's all the shading and stuff. It's really well shaded. Everything looks so rounded.
And you're really going to think that it's a game that's a generation ahead of its time.
I apologize again for the
stuff in there where you have to jump real quick.
I think a lot of people.
The graininess is part of the film, how they filmed it, but some of the like I said, the tracking is gone on this, so I
Here we are today on our way to Redmond, Washington to take an exclusive insider's look at Nintendo's new revolutionary yet unreleased game, Donkey Kong Country.
Here's the white t-shirt with the vest and backwards hat. Very early 90s.
Guys, we finally made it. Nintendo of America.
Nintendo! Vintage Gamer fan,
Let's go inside.
Joe.
Let's do it.
One of my buddies from back in the day.
Hey, it's Ken.
Now lives up there by Redmond.
Manager.
I think we're going to have
Donkey Kong Country, how you doing?
Stop one of these days when I go visit them.
Yeah, we get a lot of letters and they like to put pretty pictures on the front of the envelope, so we'll like stick it on the wall, you know?
So, Ken.
I never sent Nintendo fan mail.
No thanks. Ken, I want in on this Donkey Kong Country thing. I want in. I want on the inside.
I don't know.
Ken, me and you, pal, we go back a long way?
Interesting how it's just like any other office. You have boring cubicles and
treehouse.
pouring
I think there's
colors.
more timing
and-
involved.
Yeah.
Here it is.
What's the password?
Diddy.
Password. Diddy. Yeah! You know, after about 1,000 ditties, we finally get into the treehouse.
And the long hair,
We're gonna
also
say hello
very,
to Tony
very
Harmon.
90s.
He is the product development manager here at Nintendo. Tony, how you doing?
Pretty good. Welcome to the treehouse.
Thank you very much. And I want to know, the story behind the game.
I'm here to talk about the story. I'm the wrong guy. We need to get Dan here. This is Dan Osten.
Oh, Dan.
What's up?
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good, Dan. I want to know something about this story.
Basically, we had a chance to kind of create a new
I
story
think
for Donkey
the
Kong.
ability to
We
wear
gave him a world
t-shirts
to
and
live
jeans
in,
to work
some
is
supporting
unique.
characters.
At least in the white collar world, is unique to the software industry.
Monkey guy.
Has to be.
He's a cool little dude who follows Kong around, tries to be just like him. The story actually picks
Technology
up with
industry, I
Diddy,
guess I should say.
in the banana horde. No sooner does the storm start, nightfall, Kremlings come, stuff Diddy in a
Kremlings,
barrel.
what are...
Kremlings are the tribe of evil reptilian beings who inhabit the island, and they're very envious of Kong's banana stockpile.
As we
Makes
all
me think
are.
they're communist. Kremlin, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they stuff Diddy in the barrel, punt it in the bushes, and grab all the bananas and take off with them, take off with the loot.
Donkey wakes up and...
Next day, Kong wakes up, where's my bananas? He goes out to find him. Rescue his little buddy, find out where he is.
But Kong's angry. He's got his little buddy back, but he needs some
Interesting
bananas.
departure, I
So we
think,
get
with the
Kremlings, we get
bananas.
Diddy, and we get the
He's
big
not
fella.
trying to save a girl. He's
Tony,
trying to save
did
his
you have
bananas.
a favorite character? Are there more
Man's got his
characters
priorities
in
Ah,
this?
there's a lot of characters. I like the whole Kong family. We got Cranky. Cranky's the
has
star of
priorities.
the original Donkey Kong game.
Still alive, is he?
Dad or grandfather played that.
Nice
game.
reference to the 80s
We
arcade
also
classic.
have Funky Kong. Funky is kind of the California circuit kind of
Funky Kong.
Yeah, he
That's
runs
nice.
Funky Flights. And
Another,
Funky Flights allow you to fly around to different parts of the
I think
game.
Funky
We also
represents
got
another
Candy Kong.
80s and
Candy
90s
Kong,
stereotype
Donkey Kong
in
is
a way.
Love interest.
Okay, good. I was wondering, maybe I could take a look at the game?
Yeah, sure. Right over here.
These guys are so easy. Yeah.
This is Armand, and this is Rich.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, hey.
These guys test Donkey Kong Country for a living. We have hundreds of areas in Donkey Kong Country, and these guys have to play each area probably 100, 200 times each. Weeding out all
those
the
wonderful
bugs. This is a
13-inch
prototype
televisions.
board. There's 8 chips on this, 4 meg each, which makes it a 32 meg game, the biggest game ever.
And seriously, that was
32
freaking
megs
huge
allows us
in
to do a
1994.
variety of
It really
action
was.
And a variety of backgrounds.
And the cart
We
is
have
actually
snow
heavier
levels,
than most
jungle
carts I
levels,
think
the
you'll find.
Pyramid type levels.
Pyramid levels,
The
cave
scaffolding level.
The forest levels.
The industrial level.
Underground, factories, all kinds of
A lot of different
bizarre
levels
places that you wouldn't expect to find on an island.
But that
Yeah, it
underground
does.
ice
We've got a
level,
bunch of
that
guys
kind of
called
blew me
Goonies.
away
These guys help you out.
the first time I watched this. That looked so
Rambi
good.
gives a
Same with the
rhinoceros
underwater
and
level.
passes through some walls, helps you find some hidden areas. We
And
got
the
Winky
mine car
the
level
Frog.
looked
He's
so
bad.
awesome.
You
So
can jump on
Indiana
top of
Jones
him
Temple of
like
Doom
either. Yeah, we got
esque.
Express. So that's an
had to
ostrich,
play that.
An ostrich with these little bitty wings and goes flapping along the top of the screen. We have a lot of other special effects we do as well. On the snow level, we have 12 different layers of snow going back and forth. We have forest levels.
Yeah, the
with
layers was
parallax
also a
scrolls
big deal
for
when this came out.
dimension in the game.
Nothing else
How did this
quite
project
looked like
get
that at
started?
the time.
Visited my friends at Rare. Rare's been working with Nintendo for a number of years, and Tim Stamper, the head creative person there, was telling me
Sorry
about
again
an
about
idea
the
he
skipping
had
and the
to
quality.
make a
Like I
game
said, it's
out
been
of
sitting on a
fully
shelf for
rendered
almost a quarter
characters.
century, so.
Tim, I was just curious as to how you made them look so real.
Because we're based in Twycross, we have a zoo about 2 miles away.
Ah, you went to the zoo.
The zoo, yeah, and had a good look at the gorillas and the monkeys, and with video cameras, it was pretty funny.
Hey, big fella. Hey, there's Diddy. Diddy and Donkey. Oh, get out of the way, Diddy. It'll be a prototype, fellas.
Using advanced computers to produce a three-dimensional model that we can.
I think field trips are common for a lot of software development.
what do you got to eat here?
And just
Well,
think of all the
today we
sports
got the
games, all the
cream of banana
stadiums they have to
soup,
visit,
banana
all the
peanut butter sandwich.
racetracks they have to visit.
Hey, your name is George.
George Zachary.
I love that
I
background.
was
Like
wondering
back
if
in
you
the
could
day,
help me out
guys,
a little bit
like at
and explain
Sears,
the
they
game.
had the World of
Sure,
Nintendo
it's,
thing way back in the
it's a
day.
really
I'm not
cool
sure a lot of you
game.
guys can
It's
remember
created
that, but
on
if you
this thing
bought a lot of your
called
video games at
Challenge.
Sears, most of mine came from Sears and Toys R Us.
Basically, picture
They had
22
cool
computers in a
setups
box.
just like
Now,
this
with
in
all
the
this
little
technology,
corner of
am
the
I gonna
Sears
have to
department
buy
store, and it was
adapters?
awesome. It was heaven.
Not at all. In fact, when the game was created on the Challenge,
Gotta love that
it was
shirt
basically
button
specially
all the way up there.
output
So
to the Super Nintendo
1994.
game system. So it basically comes in a cartridge, you stick it in the system, and you play.
How do we make the roundness, the 3D?
Actually, it was created on the Challenge, first in a wireframe. Actually, then you grow shade them, or you can Phong shade them, and then you actually texture map them. And you can even try linearly bitmap interpolate.
That sounds a little dangerous. Let me ask you this. I heard downstairs something about ACM
Yeah, that's
technology.
advanced computer modeling. Basically, what you can do with it is it lets you create fully realistic, fully rendered 3D graphics, so the person has a sense of really being there. Same computers that were used in Terminator 2, Jurassic Park, new movies like True Lies, Mask.
I'm sure you guys have heard of these movies, but major. I mean, the effects in Terminator 2.
All right, here we are.
I think that came out in 91 or 92. I mean, that just blew us away.
7 days a week.
So.
And guess what, folks? Guess what? They get paid. This is Henry. Say hello.
They get paid.
Henry,
that's the first time I mean, I was 14, so I didn't know, but the notion of being a video game tester for a job, that sounded like the coolest thing ever. I didn't know that was a real job.
Roll it up against the wall and bounce back.
Then later on, once I was about, I don't know, when I started looking at
it's a good way to get people started off. And just
computer
tougher enemies that might have gave them
technology and stuff as a job.
No.
I realized that being a developer, software developer at a video game company is kind of the bowels of the software industry, unfortunately.
Ride thin barrels and shoot out. And this one part here is a series
certainly
of barrels.
Doesn't pay the best.
If you can navigate it properly, almost perfect, and not miss anything, you can score a bunch of free men at the end of the level.
A bunch of free men, not just one.
A bunch. A blue balloon comes up and Donkey Kong can grab it. There it is.
Is it very hard?
It's tough. You got to get it down perfect. And
wow, so you got a bunch of free men. Let's go talk to Isaac. This is Isaac. Isaac, say hello.
Hello.
Isaac, I was wondering maybe you could show us a couple more pointers.
Backwards hat, gotta love it.
These guys are great.
All right.
What do we got? We got more snow.
Yeah, we have more
T-shirt
snow.
under the open flannel. So
what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump on this igloo and use this really.
No, I did not go to high school dressed like that.
Peculiar enough to get us into a bonus level.
Bonus.
And I must say, this is one of over 100 bonus levels.
100 bonus levels.
Yeah, and in this bonus level,
not something you see in every game.
Absolutely. You have to guess which barrel that this golden medallion's gonna wind up in. Like to take a guess?
Yeah, the far right.
Okay. Oh, you're very good.
Very good.
Okay, the second tip I'm gonna show you, it involves our little friend Diddy.
Diddy?
Yeah, Diddy's the cool guy. You walk over to this little thing here, you jump on top of it, you're gonna grab that rope, let the rope take you over, jump right on top of that little stump in the ground.
I don't think I even would have noticed that if it wasn't for this.
Fall right into another bonus level. Now, what you want to do in this bonus level is jump out of this canister here, out of this little can, and grab the balloon.
So we have some pointers now. Good thing you came with us, because you learned some things today that, boy, you're not going to learn just anywhere else. You thought it was going to be a waste of your time, didn't you?
Fried green bananas, bananas au gratin. Video game music should draw you into the game. In Donkey Kong Country, we had graphics that were way beyond anything else that's ever been done. We were also hoping to get some music better than anything that's ever been done. This music, for example, is very upbeat, fits with the jungle. It's an early level.
I don't know. There's nothing in the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack that really has stuck out to me over the years. It is a good soundtrack, but there's not that one melody or one tune that just gets stuck in your head. It just seems appropriate. I think the graphics just overshadowed everything.
For many, many years, this game music on CD. Hasn't been a big hit.
I mean, I know all those songs by heart. I played this game a lot, but I really there isn't one that just stands out. And that's not to say it's bad. It's actually really good. There's nothing that stands out to me.
Scaffold level. What are the big blue buff?
The reason why I like it is because, for one, they're big, they're blue, and they're buff.
And when you hit them, they kind of bounce. The morphing rocks. Those guys are so cool, man. You touch these barrels, and the lights turn on and off. And these rock guys are just kind of rolled up. When you hit this light, they unroll, and they start walking towards you. It's so cool.
And you got to switch them on and off.
That's so scary.
Yeah, On Guard's the fisher ride, and he just kind of pokes you with his swordfish front. And
pokes the bad guys.
Yeah.
I like On Guard. I like the swordfish. I don't think they used the ostrich espresso. I don't think they used him enough in the game, but On Guard's sweet.
What are we doing?
This is what sold me on the game. It looked just like Temple of Doom.
Tracks, you don't fall into the caverns.
I think Indian Short Round just went by.
What do you think your friends are gonna think of?
Very cool.
I don't think really you have to tell them all that much. Once they see the pictures, it's gonna be like, you have to have it, you know it, get it.
It's one of those games you don't get bored with. You know, I've played it probably 100 times, over 100 times now, and I'm still getting better. I'm still getting better in stages. There's certain stages I can improve on and keep getting better.
Tell you what, you better reserve this game before November 21st, because that's when it comes out in the stores.
I already got mine.
I think that too is what blew a lot of people away. You know, he was asking earlier, well, I don't need an attachment to play this game. Obviously, he knew that ahead of time, but and just a text going by, not 32x. Yeah. To get this caliber of graphics, I mean, I think you know, Sega had Vector Man. That was later on. They had their rendered graphics game, but 32-bit was on the horizon at this point, and there was a lot of talk of 32x for the Genesis and all that. Didn't need it for Nintendo. So I remember something at the end, so keep watching. There's a little footage or something here for another rendered game. Brought to you by Nintendo Power. It's coming. Unless I totally thought about the wrong...
Let's see what's in
here.
here.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey guys, can I play?
Oh yeah. Little Killer Instinct. Alright, so we hit the stop button because you had to do such things on a VCR back in the day. Where is it? There's stop. So, that's Donkey Kong Country promo video. Thanks for watching. Kind of an interesting... I didn't realize how old I am until I have to get out a VCR and a VHS tape and talk about something that happened 22 years ago. I feel like an old man now. So anyway, you know, revolutionary game. Nintendo really marketed it well. This was not on my radar before November 18th. And it came out November 24th, 1994, or November 21st, 1994, but it was not on my radar at all without that video. I don't remember a lot of, I don't remember any commercials for it. Maybe there was something later on or closer to Christmas. I think GamePro had a write-up about it. I did subscribe to GamePro then, but, you know, interesting how the video just, you know, it sold my copy, so... You know, he mentioned reserving the games. You could do that back in the day, just like you can now. And I remember asking my mom. I ended up getting it for Christmas, and I remember asking my mom, "Did you have any trouble?" And she said, "Yeah, they actually had a lot of trouble finding this in Christmas 1994." And the usual places, Software, etc., Toys R Us, you know, Sears, you know, Kmart, our usual places for video games were all sold out. They ended up, my parents ended up buying my copy at, I believe it was at Tower Records. There's a name, blast from the past, Tower Records. But Tower Records did sell video games. The only place I knew of back in the day, Toys R Us probably did, but Tower Records had the sweet demo all set up with the Atari Jaguar. That was pretty sweet. But yeah, and, I'm sure it was substantially marked up because one, Tower was expensive, which probably has something to do with why they're not around anymore, and it was the hot game for Christmas '94. So anyway, I'm going to sign off here. If you'd like to watch just the video without me, my gobbling or my gabbing or whatever, I will post that separately, but again, mine isn't the best quality, so there are better quality versions of the Donkey Kong Country exposed out there, but I will post that separately so you can watch it without the picture-in-picture and without my my nonsense. Take care, guys. Sit, Dick, sit. Good cat.